An active pattern is going to return to the United States, but first, this was what the satellite was showing from today at around 10, and as you can see, this is at 2:13 today. It is very quiet across most of the United States, especially in the Midwest region. However, last night we did have some significant flooding throughout Oklahoma, with 5 to 10 inches reported in some areas, as well as the northern lights. But besides that point, we've had a lot of calm and cooler weather, especially back up through the northeast here and into the Ohio Valley. However, that's going to change very soon. If we come over to the future models here, you can see that we will have systems from basically from Canada the kind of flow through the United States, and this will bring severe weather up here and parts of the Midwest, extending into the Ohio Valley and Ozarks in some areas. However, that is not the only threat besides the active weather, which we'll dig deeper to here in a second. But we also have another possible hurricane on the way, which we will dig into here momentarily. Starting off, we have the severe weather threat extending. We do have a severe weather potential. Uh, actually a couple days for severe weather. Kind of into ending this week into early next week, and note that we will have these low pressure systems kind of flow in from up here and kind of bring some severe weather kind of straight through into the Midwest and eventually a little bit into the Northeast area. And these will be quick systems. However, these will be quick and shouldn't be too intense. However, there could be some risk of multiple of a there could be some risk of some big storms, some bigger storms than what we've seen these last couple of days. And we'll have a couple rounds kind of swing through here the Northeast as these systems tend to kind of blow up and then die off before they can actually be kind of strong. You'll see, and then we have, and this isn't uncommon for the peak of summer, August, as we are in the peak. We'll have these kind of active systems, and then we will begin to head into a another kind of very dry weather pattern. As it's been quiet, it's going to get active, and it's going to go quiet again. Not in the tropics, which we'll get into here in a second, but it's going to be active for a little bit here, especially here in the Midwest. It's going to get active, and it's going to die off, and it's going to bring very intense heat into this, and it's going to bring heat and drier times all over, basically all over the United States, and then heat in the southern tier of the United States, which some areas could also see some heat further north. And we're going to get into that right now. So here's the model of all the surface or the pressure systems, and you'll note that we have a lot. We already are kind of in this dry pattern right here, but you can see we have all these kind of build up systems, basically on the west and over here onto the east. And this isn't uncommon for August. This is actually quite common. This is pretty much what you would expect for summertime. However, we do see this sometimes in the winter months, which again is not uncommon. But as we continue here, you'll see that kind of pattern, the dry pattern that we're in now, will begin to break off, and we'll begin to see some of these storms. The storms over here will kind of begin to kind of kind of inject into the Midwest here. And that's where that severe weather potential really kicks in, especially here in parts of Iowa, Minnesota, and generally the entire kind of Midwest tier of the United States. And like I said, this will continue for about this week into the 15th, Thursday, the 15th, and the 16th. And by then we will have that hurricane over here in the Atlantic begin to sweep up, kind of begin to move up, and but after these systems kind of swing out of here, you'll see that we kind of get a blocking pattern here. We go right back to this kind of quiet period right throughout here. You don't see a lot of storms. That's because we're going to get a pattern called an omega block pattern, and here it is right here. This is an omega block pattern. This basically means that it's going to get dry and hot. There will still be some activity back up in the Rocky Mountains, which is pretty usual for this time of year. But everywhere else, it's going to get hot and dry. And we are looking for potential heat wave here, pretty much in the Midwest and the southern tier of the United States, possibly extending into the Ohio Valley and even the Northeast. So, speaking of that, let's get into the temperature plot, and you can note we'll see. You can see it's going to already heat up here pretty substantially down here in Texas, Florida, and basically the whole southern tier. But you'll see it begins to try to shoot its way up, and it won't. At least for this week, it won't shoot up. It won't get hot because we'll have these pressures. We'll have these storm systems right through here, kind of sweeping through, bringing some cooler weather in parts of the Midwest that's been in the heat the last couple of days. But right after that, you'll see temperatures begin to skyrocket again all across the Midwest and southern tier of the United States. More so over here in Oklahoma and Texas. You can see we have these really intense colors, and these colors represent um this these colors represent temperatures upwards of 100 degrees in some areas. But you can see we'll have we'll have the system right here, which will bring some cooler weather to the northeast, right, kind of right through here. However, that will clear out, and once that does, some heated temperatures will return throughout here. However, I think that for a little while, this whole area will be in a cooler section for a little while. However, heat will return, and as that system, those clipper systems, if you want, as those storm low pressure systems that sweep through the northeastern side, north central tier of the United States, we will have a burning heat just sitting down here, and that will happen until we get active again, and we are heading into September. Winter months are gonna return soon, and we're gonna start talking about winter storms soon. So a lot of this heat is gonna die off. You can see right here. This is end of the month, Sunday, August 25th. It's very hot here towards the Rocky Mountains, and it's very cool over here. And it's a big pattern shift, and it's gonna last up until sometime mid September, where we could start to see much more activity set back into the United States. Now, this is the hurricane I was talking about at the beginning of the video. It has formed into Tropical Storm 5, I do believe, and it is expected to become a hurricane here by 8 a.m. Saturday. However, one thing I do want to note about this is it's not looking like it's going to hit the United States at all. In fact, it's looking like it's going to hit, if anything, Bermuda and the islands over here near the Bahamas. And these do already have tropical storm warnings, as it is expected to hit these islands as a tropical storm. However, once it leaves kind of the islands, it is expected to become a strong hurricane. And this here's the projected track here. This is by all the models, and you can see they're all relatively agreeing on it's going to move pretty much straight up, and it's going to miss the coast, the eastern coast. Worst case is it does come for a little bit further out here and hit the east coast, or it could come a little bit further out west and hit that. However, the most likely track will be it kind of comes right up the middle and doesn't really hit much and kind of dissipates out. And that is good because this is the intensity graph, which I do want to quickly go over. It it the most models are projecting it becoming a major hurricane, up to a category 4 for some models up here. However, the most likely strength will be either a cat 3 to 1. It'll be either a cat 3 or 1. Worst case, it will be a cat 4. So this is what it looks like right now on the satellite. It's very disorganized. However, in today it's going to organize and move west and kind of strengthen up, and then it's going to miss the United States. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and I will see everybody in the next forecast.